If you want to try this activity, here are some supplies you'll need. Any kind of foam shaving cream, some food coloring, or you can use liquid watercolors if you have them, not the pan kind, liquid. Some kind of stick to stir with, I'm using a chopstick, and something to scrape with. This is a baking scrape, but you could just use some flat cardboard. You'll also need some paper. Oh yeah, and a tray. You'll need a tray too. Step 1. Spray shaving cream in a circle on your tray. You don't need a lot, just enough to cover the surface of that tray. Step 2 is to give the cream a flat surface. So I'm using my stick to spread out the cream so there are no big bumps or lumps on the top, and that the surface of the pan is completely covered with shaving cream. Now we get to start having fun because step 3 is to drip food coloring onto your shaving cream. Just a few drops will be enough, and if you like, you can add a second color, maybe even a third. Don't go too crazy with colors though, because there will be more chances later. Ready to get artistic? Step 4, use a stick to mix the colors together. Slowly swirl them around. Don't worry if you don't like the way they look right now. The effect is going to be a little bit random. We're really grooving now. Step 5, gently place paper on top of the cream, and step 6, gently pat and smooth the paper so that the cream touches every surface of the paper. Ooh, time for step 7. Carefully lift up the paper and don't let it sit for too long. Go to step 8. Well, Ms. Haza thought she'd go ahead and try another one before she did step 8. Let's see how that turns out. Okay, finally, step 8. Scrape the foam off the paper. Now, this paper I'm using right here is computer paper. It's not very thick. And since I let it sit too long, I kind of ripped the paper a little bit when I scraped it. It's still going to look nice, but I recommend doing step 8 straight after step 7 if you're going to use computer paper. My design is pretty cool, but since my paper was thin and I let it sit wet for a long time, there's a little hole in it. Let's see how the other paper worked out. Hey, did I forget to tell you about this supply? My rag that I use to wipe off my scraper? Yeah, you'll want one of those so you don't make a giant mess everywhere. Well, the shaving cream is gone, and what I'm left with is just the beautiful colors that mix together on my paper. So cool, painting without paint. Time for step 9, let your paper dry. And while you do that, you might as well do step number 10, do it again. I'm adding more shaving cream to mine, but I found out later that that's not really necessary. You can use the same shaving cream over and over again, and the colors will start to blend together. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to let the camera roll, turn on the fast motion, and let you watch me as I experiment with the colors and the shaving cream and the paper that I have. This time I decided not to add any color at all, and I just used what was already on my tray. Check it out, still so much color. Let me see what happens if I reuse my shaving cream. Wow, it kind of looks like a planet. It seems like I could do this over and over again in so many ways without even adding any color and still get a different design every time. I could cut these designs into shapes and turn them into new pictures, or I could use these papers to write on the other side and send a letter to someone, or I could just add a design to art I've already made. If you try this technique, I would love to see what you come up with. Take a picture of it and add it to your Google Classroom. Or send it to me in an email, or just save it for the next time we meet in Google Meets.